I'm Bookface, and we're gonna get really big in scale for this video, as this starts an unofficial mini-series kind of thing. A translation, arbitrary categorization, just like kaiju. Now, there are a bunch of monsters in myth. This is the reason I have content. But there are also some modern monsters. Classic Godzilla, Kong, I wish I had an obvious third one, Mothra, I guess? A kaiju. Big old monsters, sort of specific role. Now, if it's just big monsters, there were certainly a lot of monsters in myth that were well above the pure size range to be a kaiju per se. Depending on where the range is, it's kind of debatable. I don't know, here to have that debate. But in addition to just being really big, there's also like, the original purpose of kaiju is also less of just, oh, look how big that thing is. More of an existential horror, unstoppable force of nature will destroy everything, help. You just kind of wait for your demise. It can only be stopped by an actual miracle or Deus Ex Machina for anyone to survive. I didn't sum that up perfectly, so check out the Overly Sarcastic Productions video on kaiju. It's really good, very informative, and also just entertaining. It's a good channel. It's a really good channel. I would highly recommend. Anyways, enough recommendations with Bookface. With all out of the way, let's jump right in. First up, we have Behemoth, and you might be saying, wait, that's already a kaiju. Yeah, well, this is why, okay? I like mine better. I don't know if that's true. I like them equally. So, this creature is from the beliefs of Abrahamic religions, which is where all these are from, which is to say Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, because those are all connected. I'm not trying to make any statement or anything with that, it's just, something people kind of forget about. Anywho, so this creature was, as you can guess, massive. That's why its name has basically just turned into the meaning real big. His bones were made of brass, and his limbs were like iron girders. It's a lot of metal just to start this out. Man, this creature's mad. Okay, but wait. So that's iron in total, but brass in the center. Wouldn't that mean the bones are weaker than the meat? Not how things typically go, but that's how kaiju work. So the behemoth had massive jaws, but don't worry, they're herbivores. They eat tons of plants. And that's how he got so big. He ate his greens and got so massive. And was thought that it could swallow the entirety of the River Jordan. So does that mean, was that just like a guess? Because pretty sure it's still there. Maybe you put it back, or maybe there's two of them. Maybe there's two River Jordans. Or was two River Jordans. He has the massive thirst. It was thought that he had the desert of Dendane on its back. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what this desert is. And frankly, research me felt a bit lazy, so it's on editing me now. Editing me? Do we know anything about this desert? And there you go. This creature was thought to be the male to sort of contrast with the leviathan being female. Why are we putting gender roles on the giant monsters? It was thought to live in marshes, which maybe is not funny to you, but it's kind of funny to me because, like, of the creatures, he is the one that sort of represents Earth, but he lives in water. I don't know, that's probably only funny to me because I'm a freaking nerd, but I've accepted this. Behemoth often resembles an ox, but has also been compared to hippos, elephants, rhinos, and even dinosaurs. Conclusion, it's really big, and nobody's quite sure what it looks like because really big is the only consistent descriptor. He's also sometimes seen as a demon who represented gluttony. Next up we have Leviathan, also something you've probably seen in kaiju-ish monsters before. So Leviathan is like Behemoth except fish. Really big fish with fire bursting from its mouth. Might be a little tricky in the open ocean since, water. Especially considering, like, if it's real deep in the water, then it would be extra cold. So his main attack is just mildly lukewarm bathwater. He has jacuzzi powers. He's sometimes just seen as a giant sea serpent with smoke coming out of its nostrils. Again, this is a bit tricky underwater. I don't think that's how smoke works. Though in some descriptions, it is 900 miles long. And it also was thought to have 7 heads and 300 eyes. Man, that's a really cool description. But I'm just drawing a really big fish boy because it's easier. And also, I couldn't find anywhere else that verified that specific description. This creature was thought to eat dragons because there's so much protein in those bad boys. I mean, you don't see me complaining. Eat them all. This creature was sometimes seen as the demon of envy. Because, the fish just really want your stuff. Give me your things. Lastly, we have the Ziz. The kind of forgotten third part to this trio. If this were Pokemon, he'd be the box legendary for like the third version. Like, oh, he's not in Pokemon Black or White, he's in Pokemon Gray. They should have had a Pokemon Gray now that I think about it. Again, nerd comparisons, because I'm a nerd. Ooh. I'm a spooky nerd. Ooh. I think spooky nerd is my aesthetic. This creature was a giant bird, but also kind of had like griffin qualities. When I first like looked at pictures of this thing, I'm just like, oh, it's a big bird. A big bird. But then apparently it's more fanciful, and I'm like, oh, those are lion feet. Cool. And yes, of course I say cool, just like that, all the time, every day of my life. It confuses a lot of people. Its body stretched the distance between the earth and heaven. How's the weather up there? Oh, great, because it's heaven, right? So anyways, how's it going, man? And it was thought that it could block out the sun with its wingspan. I'd love it if, like, that was the limit to its wingspan, because, like, so we've established from feet to head, I guess, would be from earth to heaven. But imagine if, because just blocking out the sun with wings, obviously a big deal, but if it was just big enough to do that, then you just have this incredibly massively tall bird creature with these tiny wings by comparison. And the Ziz was thought to rule the skies and birds in general. And there we have three kinda kaiju-y looking guys. I mean, they're real big. They're existentially massive. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe. If you like this idea, let me know if you can think of any more like kaiju-y kinda monsters from folklore. I will see you next time. Bye!